Minecraft really did just manage to leak not just the name of the next update they're revealing at Minecraft Live, but also the major feature, it's a biome, as well as the name of the hostile mob coming inside of it, as well as all of the other things that they are going to announce. This is an insane mistake that Mojang have made, but now the information is out there if you're curious as to how it got there and what the next update actually is going to contain and how this impacts plans like the end update. Let's go into all of that today. By the way, consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with the latest Minecraft news. And yeah, I considered not necessarily calling this Minecraft news because this is a leak. Some people would say they don't want to see any leaks, but also keep in mind this is going to be shared by all sorts of other people, and also keep in mind that it is still going to be a surprising show. It's just now we know some of the keynotes that they're going to be announcing after the fact, because Minecraft Live has a webpage where they tell you to go and watch the show, but they've also prepared a webpage for after the show is done. They've got all of the plans for what's going to happen on Saturday. Even though a lot of that show is going to be live, they've got the vague highlights roughly planned, and so they've got a brand new website they're going to put up after Saturday has come, but they accidentally put it up early. This crazy mistake allows you to be a bit like a time traveler, because you can find out what happened at Minecraft Live despite the fact that it hasn't happened for another 4 days. So at Minecraft Live 2024, now's the really spoilery section of the video, watch the replay of Minecraft Live broadcast from Mojang HQ, where they unveiled, definitely past tense, new features like the Pale Garden biome, news on the Bundle of Bravery drop, and more. This immediately tells us that the name for the next drop, which is coming on October 22nd, they already accidentally leaked that date, the name for this drop is going to be Bundles of Bravery, and it is definitely going to be a drop lined up between the Bedrock and Java versions of the game. This is exciting by itself, but what about that brand new Pale Garden biome that's not going to be in 1.20 1.40, launching October 22nd, but instead is going to be 1.22's clear main feature? That's really cool sounding by itself, but did you know we got even more information about it? That's right, because there's a second part of this webpage, it gets worse, where Watch the Highlights is, and they've confirmed that you can get the latest and greatest news from this year's show. Again, instead of watching the whole show, you can just get the main bits. A first look at the Pale Garden and its hostile mob, the Creaking. Insight into Bundles and Hardcore mode. Wait, Bundles and Hardcore mode? They're launching Hardcore mode? Wow, that is a crazy just accidental thing in here. But also exclusive info on a Minecraft movie and our upcoming immersive experience, Minecraft Experience Villager Rescue. That is the one that I bought a cape to just to find out if you can spend $40 on a Minecraft cape in a bit of a pay-to-win fashion. But yeah, we're going to be learning about the Minecraft movie, the Minecraft Experience, as well as the Bundle and Hardcore drop, which is kind of crazy by itself. That's why it's called the Bundles of Bravery, because you have bundles, but also you're gonna have to be brave if you play hardcore. That is crazy. In Monday's video where I talk about the leaked release date of 1.20 1.40, I mentioned how hardcore looks like it's a 50-50. Now we can say it's a 99.9 to 0.1. It looks like the 1.20 1.40 update is bundles and bravery, but even crazier than that is that 1.22's main theme has been leaked, and it's more exciting than it sounds from just Pale Garden, because it's going to come with a hostile mob, the Creaking. I've got to say, this is the greatest example of how this leak is not actually the full picture. Even though it sounds like we have the major features from the next update, the fact that we know just the name of the biome and the name of the mob are the things that make this so curious. Because at first, the Pale Garden makes you picture just another variant of the Flower Forest, but when you hear that it's got a hostile mob called the Creaking, that is a name I believe Mojang have used in the past, that makes it sound like it could be from any dimension. Genuinely, you could picture, as a couple of my editors did, immediately an end biome where it's out in the End Islands and it's very pale because it's the Pale Garden where there's no oxygen, and that would explain why it's got a hostile mob. This is something which wouldn't make too much sense in the overworld. There's not many overworld specific, or biome specific mobs in the overworld that are hostile, and so that would be incredibly intriguing. But yeah, that is the big thing we need to know. Minecraft have confirmed it's not just one update, it's 2, Bundles of Bravery and 1.22, and then also that 1.22 is going to feature a major biome with some fun blocks and features that we're yet to see, and indeed a hostile mob. There's also the fact that this tells us, with regards to 1.22, exactly the scale of what we should expect from a Mojang announcement. This is a bit too much of analysis for some people, but it is something that is important to say, that they have explicitly name-dropped the 1.20 1.40 update as the Bundles of Bravery drop, but they didn't do that for 1.22. This is weird because it's no doubt going to be the bigger update, and we know it's going to be coming fairly soon, you would expect with a shorter development timeline, we expect this to either come at the end of the year at an absolute stretch, or March of 2025, because that is when they have said that PSVR support will be dropped. So somewhere in the next 5 or 6 months at the latest, and so you'd figure that they would have a title ready to announce. This would be one of the biggest benefits of being ready to announce it, and so that is a very curious decision. I also should mention at this point that I think that this, this leak sounds very, very serious, but actually, outside of whoever putting this up on the website maybe having a little bit of a talking to from a superior, Minecraft go through great deals to make sure it's a full surprise when they announce stuff like this. I think it should also be worth mentioning that this really kind of reveals that 1.22 will be talked about in a very, very early phase again, which is a surprise. And again, the whole idea of the shorter development timeline for these drops rather than updates is they don't have to worry about massively over feature creeping themselves and all this sort of things, because that is the thing that can lead to these year-long update cycles where they don't feel like they have time for creativity and playing around because they have to just add the stuff they promised last year. In theory, promising just a few features could be better for that. Indeed, we likely might see as few as a handful ultimately, but does that mean that they're going to be coming sooner, or are they going to promise the same handful and then deliver them over a longer time frame is the big question. I would keep I would be optimistic and say, yeah, there is a real chance we see these features before the end of the year even. I'm sure they'll announce a better time span for what to expect, and I am excited to see these live reveals because now we know the name and of both the biome and the hostile mob. I'm so much more curious about what they do, and so if this was an on-purpose leak, which I'm almost certain it's not, I would say it's almost a masterclass of how to drop just the right amount of information so that, the 1% of people who follow these videos are going to know exactly what to expect roughly, but for everyone else it's still that little bit of a wild card, and that's the genius or the beauty. Personally, I'm excited for the next drop even more now that I know it has hardcore in. That's exciting. I've got to rearrange some travel plans to hopefully be home the very first minute that Minecraft Hardcore goes live in Bedrock. But yeah, that's very exciting by itself. But do you know what else is exciting? Learning that Minecraft Live is just over 3 days away, and you can watch it live on this very channel, where we now know some of the things we'll be learning, but getting to see actual developers playing it is something I'm still excited for, and you'll be able to learn all about that and more here on this channel. Although, just for fun, it's 11 PM as I've woken up to make this video, and I also want to point out I almost made a video today. I've planned it all out, called what we expect at Minecraft Live, my expectations, my hope, and my nose, and so it's interesting that all of that has changed. I might still make that video, but again, I'll have to keep a little bit of caution about what we know versus what's a leak, etc. But for now, let me know what you thought of this. Do you want to hear about leaks in the future, or do you think this spoiled your fun? Because I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.